those that go on to those who are
All
licensed?
all lake owners as well as all eligible titles. That's the Oswego City Swim right in there. Apartments. Then this is between here and the Lakewood Yacht Club. That's where all of the citizens of Lake Oswego are entitled to swim. That's really all for that. For the boat, did a complete remodel and revamping of our offices, added on the marina area, and rematched the two buildings. We did a facelift inside and outside, and real marine setting. That's a main dam that's over there. Built 1921.
I'll be from the subject you ran last in Mary.
That when they were digging the trench and put the line in,
That's my
like that, we had to shut the powerhouse down. They got into sawdust deposits down in the
I'll be
when they
darned.
dug that trench.
McLean.
Yeah, down in that big hole down there.
Huh.
I'll be 1102.
Chuck, is this considered part of the main lake we're on right now?
This is the east arm that enters onto the main lake.
Okay.
We call this the east arm
Yeah,
center.
what's the situation on Barry?
We got Ridgeway Road on the right,
Hold on.
going out, Lakefront Road going out on the left.
This afternoon we're going to overfly the lake in a helicopter. So we'll get to go to Mind Your Way, Ty?
No. This is the east arm, though, going towards what the main part is what
Toward the main lake, the 3.5 or 3 mile long main lake section. Probably a half-mile section in here.
Gee, I only wish great-granddad had kept the old canal in the family, you know. Instead of you raising and lowering the lake, I could have done it. Wishful thinking.
We have just over 700 homes or lots.
On the bordering the lake?
That bordering the lake, right, the lakefront.
These 700 lots, are they single-family building sites?
All single-family residential.
Does that include along the canal and that?
Yes.
It's everybody that basically pays
Yes.
for the, yeah.
Right, that pays assessments to the water.
What kind of residence, Chuck, over there in
Yes,
construction?
that's an older hole that is being remodeled, modernized. It's being redone all the way.
Okay.
That's a lot of the gates. Gage Industries, the daughter of Rick Gage and Gage Industries.
Okay.
That's Elizabeth. That was the old River house.
Well, you really changed it. Remember the name, yeah.
And that was her house. See it a lot of this.
Rena.
The third one, just adjacent to the gable, the gable roof. That is an older house again, and it's being redone. This is the yachts house. There's still got their scaffolding up there. They did a new rockery in the front. They had to relocate the sewer line down. The front end's been very costly. They're doing a nice restructuring of an older house.
You know, the perception of from the lake back is so much different than driving around the road.
You don't see this from the streets. That's the old cottage. start. Again, you see a restructuring or remodeling on a very, very old house that was built 25, 30 years ago. Those two right there, one remodeling went, this one started about 8 months ago. Taking all the rock away and the whole.
This is just a little bay here.
This is the little bay that enters into Lakewood Bay, the downtown area. So we'll swing around and go down into there. And here you'll see a shot now of the new development, the village on the lake up on top. And this is a shot of the main lake heading directly west. The island there off to the right.
You're not a clerk.
Whole section. Like a blue area.
Young's house.
The mayor's down in here in the dark colored house in settled into the road, so to speak, for them to really learn the rules and regulations and make them a part of their everyday boating activity. They come from all areas of the United States. Some have been near boating before, some have never been near boating. So that starts with young families and older people and all of the educational places. How to swim, young children know how to swim, yes, they really swim. It's just for them to get into the plane of being near a wide river, and then that goes out to the boating, and they sail, they water canoe, fish trail,
This little cove is, what do we call this?
Well, we call this the islet.
The
or
islet.
the channel into Lakewood Bay. The
see.
island channel between the main lake and Lakewood Bay, the downtown area. That's the connecting channel. Navigating the connecting channel between the downtown Lakewood Bay area.
Yeah, when they redid that bridge, that's the one so they can close off this part of it. That's why the
Yes,
water was low.
we went to
right?
the city and the state in the engineering planning stage, and we knew that if at all possible, we wanted to have the capability of diking the main lake off. woods in the winter and fall than you do in the summer months. There's your slots, right? Your slots. There used to be a center beam vent in here, number 210. And I said also that we want to have a wider, safer channel. Before people would have to crowd into one side or the other, and if they got mixed up, they'd come through the wrong channel. And well marked, but the design was
City Hall.
I'm out station for this.
Pete Harvey's got a nice view of the lake from his office. That's Pete's office.
Just information, I don't think I'll let you know 3 is not going to go to Tigers. Why? I'll be able to visit. Copy.
Yeah, you're sitting on it. We got there 5 minutes before they dropped it. I went up to the side, the old gas station was taken down. So I got him when he fell this way.
These were old apartment houses down here at Edgewater Garden Court. Have now been converted to individual condos or the shared common area in the center.
Those ones right on the lake are
Yeah.
all rental, okay.
Chuck, what was the old Ireland record? Which one of those?
That was the one in here. About back Ireland.
When I was a kid, one big tree could come out to make us move to Ireland's team. Now you come over
Not
it
the
was
fat
West
of this, what the grand theater area. I'm not sure that he didn't know that fiber film, but the Terra Corporation built it. George Mack and this over that now.
For the life of me, I cannot figure out why these restaurants can't do better than they've been doing. Mind your wait time?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Is there a lot of fish in the lake?
There's a lot of your normal warm water fish. You have your bluegill, ringtail perch, you have crappie, you have a small rock bass, which is similar to the crappie and bluegill. Then you have catfish, bottomfish, carp, bottomfish, and then probably one of the most prized game fish, the bass, big white mountain bass, that can go up to 8, 9 pounds.
That is fishing games with any of the fish in here, or is it all self-generated?
It's all, they follow the natural waterway out of the 12th River and into the lake. Probably been here almost as long as the lake.
Now the lake actually did exist as what, Waluga Lake before it was
Sucker Lake.
Sucker Lake?
Waluga, yeah, Sucker Lake. I have in 1850, Florida engineers map in the office that shows the original Sucker Lake, which is probably 1/5 the size that you see it now, as it's been elevated through the years with the various dams up to increasing the elevation by about 28 feet and just flooding out for the bays and canals.
Was there any dredging along with the filling?
Take me an interesting little story.
I really don't know. Dick can answer to that probably more, besides the main canal.
Time when my brother and dad started developing Pioneer, called Pioneer Court,
Yeah.
west of the lake. And they, off the canal, dug a...
That was...
in the 60s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Alright.
The very early 60s.
That was
I was just checking if you were clear.
Because I was in Washington,
Did you
D.C.
put
when
99
that
up
went
in the
on.
shop?
that little section we called it East Arm.
725.
Chuck, what are the little pyramids out there on the right?
Lake Bay extension, Lakewood Bay extension. That's just a dock. It's just something that keeps the ducks and birds away, and it's something it's just a floating, it's a metal deal.
Huh.
Also provides, they want to swim along the front like we do, is kind of provide a buffer between the boats and their swimming.
Beautiful yards were in the lake, right?
It's really interesting the way the development of these houses. A lot of this is native rock, native Columbia River basalt rock formations, and so they just settle their house neatly in amongst the rocks, and then develop their yards in a cascade, not destroying the natural so much as just leaving it there. Very majestic bird.
Geez, that little kid used to come out.
See the rocks in there, huh? And they built their little stair landings. You can't move stuff like that. Excuse me, I interrupted
No.
you as a kid.
As a kid, I used to come out from northeast Portland. My mother had good friends from First Congregational Church and lived on, I forget the circle area. I used to come out and go swimming in their backyard.
I think one of my first swimming places was down in West Bay. One of the Dwyer families lived down there, and we knew them through the church. And then my first water skiing experience, we moved here 35 years ago. I learned to swim in that Oswego City swim because we lived up on Spruce Street. But Harry Ty used to be the manager of United Grocers. Gary and his kids, well, I got to know them. They invited me over and I got the water skiing there once. These are sewer manholes. There's an entire sewer system. See that manhole up ahead that runs underwater.
That's amazing. I've seen the line, of course, when the lake has been down.
Yeah, the engineering that went into that must have been Ray Grid,
Sewer
Dave
manhole.
Abraham, and then Bill Dorner. He was the structural consulting engineer. There's another blue hair in there. A little nuts, yeah. Somebody's got their own little
Where's
flower.
that blue hair?
Oh, it's sitting back on the dock there, kind of walking behind all the ducks.
Okay.
See, there it is. Seems to gonna get ready, maybe to fly out again, I don't know.
729.
See, a mixture of ducks, some domestics and some wild.
Chuck, somebody told me that, I guess it's around on the other side, that somebody brought a small helicopter in on top of a boathouse? On a cable?
West Lamont, Columbia Helicopter, he used to live up here, but he's now sold the property, and so, but he did now on occasion bring in a small helicopter and landed on his boathouse.
I was on his yacht yesterday afternoon, all afternoon.
Oh, were you?
He's got a helicopter pad on the top of his yacht.
Now they built a house up on top of that rock outcrop right there.
Yep.
It's a very high, almost a crow's nest.
Nice solar. Greenhouse on the side.
It was a Christie auction mystery cruise, and
You won it?
Bought it?
well, I was part of a group of about 32 that won it.
Bid on it.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting. How big of a yacht does he have?
it sleeps 12, I think, comfortably. 12 relatives or 18 friends, I think they said.
They're doing some neat, unique things with their home reconstructions out here. Right, keep them in a lake setting and yet not make them look like they're absolutely new structures.
Is this a reconstruction?
It's a reconstruction.
Just a reconstruction of an old house.
Is there any brand new stuff going on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well we just, that white one back over there and the gray one next to it.
Lakewood Boulevard. Tamale.
That was the old Jantzen house. And they're gonna, that was like a lot and a half. They wanted to have two lots. There was one home and the other beside it. They took both together. I wouldn't shoot when it built a nice new house. That one up in that review right there, that's a brand new review. Right up there.
Yeah, that Gutsy.
And you're close to
On that little
Right on top of here,
there?
yeah.
right there.
Wow. Okay. Well, he doesn't have much of it. I was surprised at what a small pad he had on top of that yacht. Of course, if you can imagine.
This is the new construction in here that tore down.
That's that old
The
Spanish.
old Spanish style
house
the
that
old
was there.
Bowyer house. And redid that $1 billion house in there.
Swimming pool up there on the side, on the left side. They even redid the guest house too, didn't they?
Yes,
Changed the
they did.
style on that too.
They did.
A lot of money in that house.
Had this little section in here, and they
sold it, didn't they?
that to
Yeah.
Ann Shugart. I think some of the money went into their new pool up
Yeah.
front.
So this is a private swim park?
Yeah, it's an easement. We call them an easement. There's 20 boating easements. And they have their own swimming area and boating, combined boating quarters.
Ann Shugart owns a lot of land around, doesn't
She
she?
does. She owns that strip from that boathouse there clear to the next home in there. There's about 12, 15 lots along there.
And they're not developed, are they?
No. We're approaching Halverson Island, which just recently sold.
That was
I
the most
see there.
expensive piece of real estate to sell, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. We'll go all the way around the island.
Now, when they got the island went with the house entirely, is that?
Yes.
They actually got quite a deal,
8-acre
didn't they?
island.
Ty, that's the old Jantzen and Beach, Jantzen, Navy Mill,
Jantzen.
originally. I used to call it Jantzen Island when I was
Jantzen
a kid.
Island, then it went to Coffee Island, and Halverson had it 31 years. Now it's Stubblefield, and I understand they want to call it Waluga Island. Not Stubblefield Island, but Waluga Island. But see, they cleaned the roof, and now they're taking off They're doing landscaping, so they're going to be taking off a lot of the unnecessary brush, and chipping it and putting it back down. But they're clearing it out, so you can actually see the house up there. You can never really see it. It's like a castle.
So before it was Jantzen Island, or after it was Jantzen Island, it was
Coffee.
Hoppy?
I don't know who Coffee was, but they say Coffee used to land a plane in here. A little seaplane.
They've opened it up some, haven't they?
It's, they sprayed and got a lot of the foliage down, and now they're cutting it out. They're chipping it.
Is this the island where the kids came out and helped out, or was that a different one?
No, that's a different one.
That's a different island.
Okay.
We'll get to that down the other end of the lake. It looks like they're pruning those trees, so it branches up maybe 30, 35 feet, so they're allowing air and sunlight circulation down onto the yard.
So-
And lots of prevent the wind breaking it down and creating.
Good idea.
Area.
So this is a private driveway here?
That's their private access bridge roadway onto the island. Their utilities have to come on under the bridge or under the waterway.
Went out on that island once with Walter when we came out to take some papers to the house.
Check this house up
Yeah.
above.
What a view.
Up on the peak again, built right on the rock outcrop. Garand. Mr. Germont. He was on that aircraft that went down. Here in
Yeah,
Florida.
Norma Jean and Jermon, League of Women Voters, and Henry
Their place.
Jermon.
There's another easement in here. Voting easement upland.
Okay, so we're near Uplands Drive, are we?
No, this is called Uplands easement, but the platted area of Uplands is eligible to it.
I see.
This is Diamond Head here, the end of North Shore Road. These homes up on top are all Diamond Head. Up on top.
Ty, how long does your battery go for?
Should give me a full hour.
You're lucky. I just changed. Mine go 20 minutes.
However, I pay for it, Dick. I gotta boost them 24 hours
Yeah.
to get my 1 hour.
Number 2, 9 and 14 of 49, to Blvd. So Lincoln, Edward, Victor, Edward, Tom.
Now, those are new houses across the lake.
Yes,
aren't they?
that's the Robinson Point development. That was done in the past 5-6 years. It's called Oak Terrace is the access road down off the South Shore.
Nice houses.
Yeah.
Chuck, you've seen a lot of changes, haven't you, in here?
I've seen a lot of changes in the 20 years. I've seen a lot of new board members, a lot of new families and homes. You know, Oswego, I've lived in the community 35 years. First came here in the early 50s. I've been visiting Oswego since the early 40s. I had an uncle, my dad's brothers lived here in Oswego, a carpenter. We used to come and visit, so I've seen Oswego from some very early stages. Now we're coming around Diamond Head here, about the middle of the main lake. We'll see the new moorage that the village on the lake has installed this last winter and spring, and the homes that are beginning to be built and developed on the upper slopes.
Did they have to get permission from the Lakeshore to have mortgage?
Yes, in the original deed rights, just as Ann has, this property that was hers was Oregon Iron and Steel Company property. So
I see.
it always had lake rights or voting rights. But the corporation was allowed to be involved
very
This
much.
is the end result.
That's the way it gets up to that little lily pond, isn't it?
Yes, the
Yeah.
Lily Pond, the creek comes in on this far corner.
What road is right over there?
Well, Iron Mountain is on the back side of the Lily Pond.
Oh,
And then to access into this area here, you have to actually take that summit turn off just before you get to the Hunt Club, and then come back into a maze of new streets in here
I see.
on the village, on the lake. And I don't know all the names, but there is a road that comes right into the top of the hill, and there will be a bathroom, brick bathroom facilities. And there is a house now being built up in here, and that overlooks that
The lily pond?
frog pond or lily
Yeah,
pond.
frog pond, that's what we call it, yeah.
Now, you,
They're calling it Lily Lake.
Lily Lake?
Is their new name.
Chuck, you referred to this as Diamond Head. Is there something that's called Diamond Head, or is
I
there?
don't know. Diamond Head was this back point back here.
I
That's
see.
Diamond Head. That's
Okay.
the swimming protected swimming inside. These stores in the morning. 25 30 steps.
Now to get those boats down, this is what they had to launch down here from Sylvia.
All they go to
It's right there. Here's one of them.
Sid Ferris is now the present owner of this 5-acre estate down here. It had gone from Mary Young to Fred McDonald. Built a new home, and he'll be able to see it in a minute.
For your pledge for UTL.
The lakeside, we don't see that wow. This is
Cheyenne with Edward Paul
village on the lake. There's a protected buffer strip. They won't be allowed any boathouses down here, or no denuding of that natural buffer
Boy, that's
strip.
nice.
It kind of keeps it, the homes are up and away, and it keeps that natural lake frontage.
Boy, that's quite a cantilever job.
Edward Paul
Look at
Frank,
those
1
blue lamps underneath that.
Yeah.
Clear, current, no flag, 74 Toyota, 2 Aircraft, Camp Steady J 32, 4 Touchstone, Apartment 1510.
Fred McDonald was the one that rebuilt this house.
Oh, I see.
10 years ago, when he bought it from Mary Young, the Mary Young estate, 10, 12 years ago. She was the CNH sugar
Right.
heir.
Valid.
And then
Flights are
Fred and
correct.
his wife were Hawaiian Island people, and they must have somehow got onto the buy. And they redid that whole house. And now Fred has sold this, and he lives up in the blue house up above, the blue tile.
Okay.
That's where he moved back up there.
I sure like the looks of this. It's got a great view.
Yes.
On a clear day, he obviously has not been framing the lake.
Yes. Those houses up on Diamond Head, they all look over the top, have the same view. It's magnificent.
Don't have too many
Barbara
examples.
Sue Seals is that gray house that they're redoing.
Is that
up-
Barbara's?
That's hers from the lakeside up on top. The first gray house up on the very top now.
Okay.
And they have land that comes all the way down to the lake where the little boathouse used to be Del Collins, and the architect. That was his little office complex. You could sneak down to the lake and do his drawings.
Now, do we call this the main part of the lake here?
This is the middle section of the main part of the lake, right?
Okay.
Looking directly west. We're just passing the Sid Ferris property here. 5-acre piece in here on the right. Phantom Bluff is off over to the left there.
Beautiful landscape.
Yes. Makes a full-time gardener. In the spring, this is all solid bloom in here. All those trees are blooming. Everything is in bloom. those trees in there are all in full foliage and bloom. Mary Young was really strong in the Oswego Garden Club, and they used to have garden shows and things out here.
There's
Now
another new
you're
house.
coming into the Oswego Shore Estates, which is another new development done in the last 3-4 years by the Ziegler brothers. New boathouse under construction down below. Done design.
The boulders that were
Denny
brought
Hall.
in on the side up there.
Denny Hall, I think, is the one that has the hexagon design. This is all Summit Court along here, Summit Drive. Yeah, that's another small easement, 3 boat slips. That was part of Ann Schukart's property again, and she sold it to the Zieglers, and they were had boating rights.
Kind of like, why couldn't he bend?
Oh, Forsyth, yeah. These are relatively new houses in here. This one here has been just recently built by Helga Handel. It's on Summit Court. It's a pretty steep slope.
Yeah.
60% grade, or I don't know what the grade is, but we really have
Steel structure
put
supporting
steel
your house.
piling, tie footings. They run continuous footings down the whole slope, dig them in, and also tie them back to solid rock on the backside of the road. And, get a little rumble, you wonder whether it's going to just go
Yeah.
like that or
Yeah. She's done well in her real estate business.
Yes.
The water slide there is new, isn't it? This year. I don't remember seeing that blue slide there.
That's fairly new. That's right. That's the old Jack McCann property. And two people have gone in there and added another slide. Jack McCann, his wife, Marco's grandfather was the foreman for the Puget Sound Construction Company, and they built that dam down there in 1921. Our dam. That's where Jack and his wife.
Oh, that's no way to try your phone. Yeah, I'll keep that off video.
Their name is right on there.
Chambers too.
This little house right in here is Rip Gage's.
Was that Ribs?
Yeah, that's Rip's property.
Okay.
Just redid his waterfront, redid his boathouse.
That road right there is...
That's Summit, Springbrook Bridge, that's the beginning of Summit off of Lakeview Boulevard.
Okay.
Lakeview Boulevard starts this way and goes west. Summit begins here at the Springbrook Bridge and goes east. That's your Springbrook Creek that picks up the drainage corridor all the way up to Mount Martin.
What I'm trying to be able to show is what people driving around the lake that just see bits and pieces of it.
Right, you don't see it from the streets. Right?
Yeah, give an idea what, at least what they look like from the lake when they drive by. Where are we in relationship to the?
Under Bob Hazen. Used to be with
Way?
Benjamin Franklin.
Where?
Right there, the house you're going up.
Bob
Oh.
Tramway. For that on, see it there at the side?
This was Bob's original house. He built this. Bob Hazen built this one. Then he moved away to the back.
Huh.
This is in Shopsky now. Shopsky lumber. Very beautiful yard.
Which is Machowski's?
This one.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a Bouchard garden. Yeah. That's the original house Bob Hazen built. They're redoing houses in here. Now these are two new ones, but this is a redo again. This one's redo and these are two new ones. This original house was back 50 years and they had like 3 lots in there.
Yeah, I remember those for sale sign on those lots. Now that's what's really deceptive. When you see that from the street side,
Yeah, you don't
it doesn't
see
look like anything.
That's right.
Where are we in
This
relationship?
is probably one of the
to
oldest original cottages on the lake. The old Morris property.
that brown one?
Yes, that's what your original summer cottages in the early 20s, mid 20s and 30s, that's what they looked like. A lot of people from Portland bought lots or large parcels of land on a lake out here and built up a little summer cottage.
Yep.
Then from that, then it developed into 30s and 40s and 50s into full-time residential homes. That's probably, it is, to my knowledge, one of the old original cottages of the lake.
First time when I can recall being.
This one is a complete remodel here. Willard Moore, and just on the other side of Art Noss, Willard Moore built that house in there originally and over the last 8-10 years. Ray Holberg, who had built the Bayrock Apartments, he bought a lot in here, the gray one in here. That's Ray Holberg's house. See, they take old houses that are quite simple in structure and they redo them. That's what they're doing. We certainly don't like that. Not like that. It is constructed today, but I'm sure it'll be finished up in like Bud Seiler is a contractor, and he redid this the old Marion Blue house. Here's where this is what they do. Sometimes they go down to the foundations and start over. Sometimes they go to some of the bare walls and start over.
There's different with city permitting too, which way they go.
Right, that's correct.
Like this one now had to be built to complete city's current standards for a remodel job. And it's big and it's used.
Oh yeah, it's the most used swimming area around the lake. In the natural swimming area.
Oh, I see they've got the thing screened, haven't they?
Oh yeah, that's to keep the swimmers in and
Yeah.
keep debris out, keep outsiders from swimming in. We've got,
The first aid station, I didn't remember that. Chuck, now who mans the first aid station in the bed? Is it the school district?
this is run and operated by the Lake Oswego School District, and they have 5 lifeguards on duty, and plus a manager and sometimes an assistant manager there.
Huh. I've never been down here. How do they check when
So
they're
they have a check station. You got to come in one main gate, and they check. They have ID cards.
I see. So you
And
have to show where
originally you sign up. You show your water bill or electric bill from your
I
residence
see.
to prove your residence, or a tax,
Uh-huh.
whatever. This is the island that they shoot the fireworks off of.
This is the island the kids cleaned up, right?
Yes, the high school group service club came down, and we used a large barge, and we spent the whole day, and we really pruned the island down. And we're starting to reseed the backside with contribution and help from the neighbors. We've got some vine maple and some shrubs on the backside. We've pulled in some of these lilies and rocked them in along the bottom, because it used to be blackberry brambles were 10 feet high and just come down. We've got some dried stuff we have to take off.
Boy, they did a job on it, didn't they?
Oh, it was a tremendous job. It's good to see the island.
Really opened it up.
Now we'll start building those shores back up. Locking them.
Is this the canal?
No, this is in the West Bay.
West Bay.
Canal. We've got one there, and then you run back to the
Where are these hooks trying to sit on? Main canal stood up there.
Watch your head now, put it up under here.
This is a low one, right?
Ah. That would have made an interesting shot, though, if I got knocked right down there.
My dentist lives on West Bay. Around the corner, Rick Johnson.
Rick Johnson,
An appraiser out from the Midwest. The guy didn't check any property values around here, and Rick got that. John just told mine to John built me a brand new house off Royce in 97 days with groundbreaking to be moved in.
amazing. He's got that nice development there.
Yeah, Stafford Oaks.
Stafford Oaks. This is nonsense.
This one right here.
Yes.
It's a beautiful redo of my house.
See, they got putting in a fountain or something. Putting in a little statuettes.
Do a lot of people pump lake water for